Greetings, friends and fellow cigar box guitar enthusiasts. Del Puckett here, and I just recently finished up this box, or at least thought I was finished. Got it all ready. Seriously, I thought I was done, and then I started playing with it, and it's like, oh, dude, I got 3 things. Like, I was so disappointed. I put so much work and effort in doting and finessing into this thing here to make it all it could be, only to be sadly disappointed when I started playing it. Now, these are all three things that I'm going to identify can be easily fixed, and that's the point of this video here. I'm going to fix the problems. But I was just disappointed, man. The expectation was high, and then when I came to these discouraging aspects of it, I got kind of bummed out. But I don't want to focus on the down. I want to focus on the awesomeness of this thing. This thing is so resonant. Seriously, it has these springs on the inside here. And you can just feel all the vibrations of this thing. It's crazy. So this is unplugged. Listen to these, and this is just normal tuning right at the bottom. That's a D, whatever. G, F, E. So there's nothing going on here out of the ordinary, guys. This is just like a normal guitar tuning, right? So. So it is so loud, my gosh. So what happened when I put it together and I started playing chords, I realized that there is a gap here that is causing vibrations. I don't know if you can hear that. It's like clapping. Same thing on this side. So when I hit a chord hard, I get rattle right here. I don't know if you can hear that high rattle. So I'm going to fix that. And you can see here that this saddle has got a little shim underneath it. And that's because I'm getting a fret buzz here. And I tried banging in the frets and finally doing all that stuff. I want to get it exactly right. So I'm going to hear it ever so subtle. But I need to raise. So I'll just build another saddle, raise it up slightly. And here's the other thing that's rather annoying. Now, if you look really closely, you'll see that there's a piece of, what do you call it? Aluminum foil in that string slot. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's in there. Here's some remnants of it right here. But anyhow, I'm trying to lift that string up because the angle is not right, and I'm getting and I think it's too wide in there, so the string is vibrating inside this slot right here. I know, because when I put my finger here, it goes away. It's only when it's open. So that means that string is vibrating inside there. Now I've tried pulling down on the back here to increase the downward tension. And that seems to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, isn't that cool here? Watch that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little eyelet there and put some downward pressure on this string right there to get rid of that little fret buzz there. So those three things I'm going to do. But wait, that's not all. My friend Jeff Patterson gave me this hide glue. And if you know, you know. I did not know until today. Now I know. I've got some hide glue boiling. Apparently you put it in water and start boiling it. And the hide, or whatever it is, the glue in the hide, horse glue, then it starts melting. Here, let me show you. So it's actually in there melting. And Yeah, I'm gonna put some more water in there. I've been talking too long and boiling. It's kind of overboiled. It's not as soupy as I'd like. Hang on 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Where's the water? Oh, here. Oh, sorry guys, you were up against the water. My bad. I've learned not to overdo it with the water either. There's like a balance, a consistency balance. Oh wow, it already glued to the pick. It dropped on the pick. The glue. Yeah, it's very sticky, very sticky. But apparently hide glue is made with, violins are made with hide glue. High-end quality luthiers, real luthiers, especially of acoustic instruments, use this hide glue. And yes, I'm starting to get the consistency back. It's starting to look like a kind of a cross between honey and stink. So, whew, yee. Smells like horse hoofs. Okay, so I'm starting to get it now. Okay, so yeah, so what I'm going to do here is with this hide glue, I'm going to take this top off, and I'm going to glue the top down using the hide glue, clamp it and stuff like that, and let it dry. And I'll probably leave the screws in here, but I definitely want to eliminate this rattle right there. All right, so time is of the essence. I took off the strings, so the strings are off, and I'm unscrewing the hinge attachment. I should use my power tools, dang it. That's why God invented power tools. Don't lose those. All 4 screws removed. Saddle falls off. Uh-oh. I think this sticker got sucked into the shellac. Okay, so we are open, we are open for business. Yay! Here's the hide glue, and I wanted you to see it before we put it on the guitar here. So it's the consistency is, you can kind of see it's kind of like thick gravy, and there's still a chunk right here. I need to put more water in there but I think this should be good enough here for at least to paint or to glue this guy together. I'm going to put along the edges on this thing here, let it dry for a little bit, and then glue it up, and then I got all my clamps all ready to go here. So I wanted you to see this first. See those chunks in there? It's these little scab things, gelatin scabs that you just mix with water. And don't overcook it. I learned the hard way. It's like, dang it. But you can always add water. That's the interesting thing. Just add water. I think I'm using just about every clamp I own. Shout out to Brad Lindquist there for that one there. I was getting good spooge coming out of here, so I know that I got it sufficiently lathered with glue both sides. I opted not to wipe it off, and I'm letting the spillage just be there, because I know that I can go back later with a wet cloth and just clean up whatever it is that. And I also put these little pieces of wood there because I did not want to destroy the shellac top with that. So hopefully that helps.
A few moments later.
Those things left little marks on here, darn it. Darn it. Even up here you can see. So maybe I'll have to buff those out, I guess. Whatever. Whatever. No more banging. Sometimes these guys make noise, but nothing over here. Nothing but those glorious springs. I don't often recommend things, but when I do, I recommend getting yourself a box full of saddle blanks. You know, the saddle, the thing that we put our fret in. So have them different heights, and you can do different wood. You know, just kind of have a variety, a plethora of blanks. That's my recommendation. And keep them close so that when you come to that stage of the game, when you're going to do a saddle, you don't have to stop what you're doing. You just reach up there and measure out the perfect saddle. So this one here, like I said, was a little too, just a tad. I had to put a little shim underneath it, one of these stickers to shim it. But I needed to go a little bit more, so I reached into the bag, into the box rather. And so this guy is actually significantly taller. I'm going to have to probably sand the back of it down. I don't know if you can see it very much here, but you can see that that one's significantly taller. Not a big deal. Just take this to the belt sander. But what I wanted to point out here was the symmetry in this saddle. What is symmetry? Symmetry is this side is the same as this side. So this is the old saddle. We'll get rid of this guy. This is the new saddle. So the slope and the curvature, I tried to match, as well as the roundiness in this axis. So you can see a lot of work went into this thing. I'm going to still do some final sanding and get that fret. Yeah, you can see it really good right there. So yeah, I love the way this thing here, that just the curve of the top to the bottom. Again, symmetry. This is just me being OCD, creative, whatever like that. So, you know, who has a good eye for symmetry is my wife, man. She is spot on. She can come into a room and be like, line everything up. You're like, so I went ahead and re-shellacked it. And as I was putting it together, realized, because I was taking this in and out to get the right height. And I kind of scuffed up the shellac right there. Plus, it hadn't dried fully. And I didn't want these two to be together while it dried, because then this would stick kind of like the hide glue to the top. Speaking of the hide glue, dang it. Oh, yeah, here. This stuff, when it cools down, you just put it back in the bag. And then you save it for the next time. Kind of gross, huh? So while the shellac is drying, I'm going to show you what I'm working on now. So last year at the Southwest Cigar Box Guitar Festival, Jeffrey Elliott gifted me with this beautiful Flying V. Right, so I have been procrastinating and relishing the moment, right, to put this thing together. So I was looking for the ultimate piece of wood, and I found this beautiful piece of curly maple. Just drop dead gorgeous. And the heel likewise is just beautiful wood. And so because the straight part of the neck wood was here, which is perfectly straight here, I'm having to work backwards. In other words, so I want to use my factory end here and then cut off here, rather than use this as the factory end and cut off here inside the box. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm working backwards and with a scarf. So what I was very intentional about here is wanting my scarf joint to be in the exact right spot to preserve as much of this straight section of neckwood as possible. So I opted for the 23 inch, and we figured out where our overlap here is going to go. So I'm going to have a fretboard that's going to come over the top here, and I know where the saddle is going to go. Right, so I measured all this stuff out specifically because I wanted this scarf joint to start right here, which means as far as where these cuts go, I have to measure 75 millimeters back to where I start the top of the cut on this scarf. I have a little diagram here kind of showing. So what you can do is you can pause this thing here and get these measurements here. The 7 inches and the 4.5 inches on the headsaw, you can let those be whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You can make it longer or shorter. This is just my typical size here. And of course, that's the fretboard. So you can see here, 75 millimeters from the edge, ding, 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 here, edge here. Wherever you want that, you can move it to be wherever you want, but I wanted it right there. So that means 75 millimeters back is where I start my cut here. That is working backwards, my friend. For the fretboard, I have different options. There's this beautiful piece of maple, these little diagonals in here, but I think they were a bit distracting. I think I'm just going to go with this solid. It looks like ebony, but it's really just poplar. Every once in a while, you can find these black pieces of poplar. They're just black, solid black. They come from that way from the factory, guys. And then the headstock, I went for this. It's called the wing tip. Figured that was appropriate for a flying V from CBGT. Look at it, it even comes with the string spacing. So I thought the wing tip here would be a good complement to the flying V.
2,000 years later.
So a few days have gone by. I let that new layer of shellac dry and cure. And I also put the new saddle on there. So this is a higher saddle. And I also put the string tie down to get more downward pressure here on this 0 fret. And the strings are still stretching, but it sounds so good. So this tuning here is C, F, A, D. And you can still hear that there's a little bit of buzz here. So I'm going to probably have to replace this 0 fret with another fret and then make sure that that slot right there is not so wobbly. But the glue is holding up pretty good. And the action is better. So gosh, the sound unplugged is amazing, guys. I love the reverb, my gosh. Those springs. what I like to do is harmonize, leaving the high strings open. So this just follows the major scale. It would be the 1 chord, the 1 chord, then the 2 chord. Everything else is open. The high strings are open. 3 chord minor, 4 chord major, 5 chord major, 6 chord minor, 7 chord minor, back to the root again, major. So yeah, so all we got to do now is fix that zing, zing. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, to all your friends. And don't forget to hit that CBGitty link in the video description below with your opportunity to use the promo code. Get yourself discounts, whatnot. You are helping support this channel, by golly. By golly. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Sorry it took so long. We'll see you around the internets. Take care.